back. Casey Melua was just 19 years old when she released her first album, Call Off the Search, which reached the top of the UK charts. In 2006, she was the best-selling female artist in Europe.
Casey then took some time out from the constant travelling and pressures of success, but now she's back with her fifth album, Secret Symphony. And she's going to be performing a little later for us live in the studio, which is a real treat. We're going to have a look, first of all, I think, at one of your breakthrough hits. So look back a little bit.
Okay. How can you let me watch you sleep, then break my dreams the way you do? How can I have got in so deep? Why did I fall in love with you? This is the closest thing to crazy I have ever been. Feeling 22, acting 17. This is the nearest.
Do you still love hearing that?
I do actually, yeah. I don't really get to hear it very often, so it's nice to hear it occasionally.
Yeah.
Apart from when I'm singing it live.
Yes, of course. Now, for a lot of us, I'm sure a lot of people listening to that at home, it's beautiful. And it just sort of takes you back, and it is such a gorgeous song. I just wonder for you, but does it have that same effect, or does it kind of remind you of a rather difficult time? Because it's out there, isn't it, that you sort of had wonderful success and then a period of difficulty that followed.
Well, this song doesn't remind me of a difficult time at all, because it was, you know, when I just started, I was so excited, and, you know, I mean, I remember hearing the song for the first time when Mike, my producer, Mike Batt, played it to me, and he had no intention of letting me hear it, but I made him play it to me because I read the lyrics on sleeve notes, and he played it, and I just loved it. And then it kind of just took off. It was just amazing. So it was brilliant, really brilliant.
And of course, Charlie's talking about this massive... I mean, you were absolutely huge. And at such a tender age. I mean, I know you went to the Brit School, didn't you? So you were sort of being prepped for that, I suppose.
Well, you don't really get prepped for it. I mean, you study music and you study music business. Of course, that doesn't really teach you sort of the specifics of what goes on. I think the problem with the music industry is that everyone loves what they do. Well, I mean, I did. Can't speak for everyone, but I did. And I just felt so lucky to be making music. And I think that was what sort of was, you know, the breaking point, because I loved it so much that I just kept going and going and going.
So I know you don't want to spend a lot of time talking about this. I absolutely understand. There was a point where you thought, I've just got to step to one side.
Yeah, I just had
have
to
a moment for yourself. Is that what it was?
Take some time out. Yes, about 6 months, and it was lovely to just go home, do a bit of gardening, hang out with my family, you know, go shopping, just do regular things for a bit. It was lovely.
And then what was the thing that sort of brought you back to the table?
I ended up postponing a tour, and so when I postponed it, I went back on stage. So that was last year, and I had such a great time on stage. I couldn't wait to make another record. And this album, Secret Symphony, was inspired by an orchestral gig I did. And after I came off stage of that particular gig, I thought, I have to make an album where the orchestra plays a really big part on the record. And this is it.
And you're back together with Mike Batt, who, of course, you've already mentioned, who you worked with right at the beginning.
I did.
You know, you and his success, you know, really, he helped you, didn't he?
Oh, he was, you know, hugely influential, and we have an incredible collaboration. The thing with this record was I knew if the strings were going to be in it, and if I wanted to make it a real singer's album, he was really the best person to work with for it.
And having listened to the album, this album, which is beautiful, there is a kind of, I don't know, is it unfair to say there's a sort of melancholy feel? Maybe it's just your style of singing. It has that sort of feel to it. Is that a bit of your personality that comes... I mean, is the way you sing just the way you sing, or is that a bit of you that's coming through?
I think it's a bit of the Georgian in me. You know, having come from Georgia, it's sort of... The music there is very melancholy. It's very sort of emotional and quite subtle. Lyrically, I'd say this is one of the happiest albums I've ever made.
So listen to the words,
listen
and then
to
you
the
get
words,
a different...
and you get a bit uplifted. Yeah.
Now, anyone listening to you this morning, as you do your interview with us, will notice that you are swallowing a little bit.
Yeah, I've got a bit of a sore throat, so I'm, you know, I'm keep my fingers crossed for the performance.
And when a singer has a sore throat, that's not a combination that any singer wants.
No,
is
it's
it?
not good, but I have done it under worse conditions. I could barely stand before I did my O2 gig, actually.
How
few
did that,
years ago.
So how did that go then?
It was horrendous because just before soundcheck, we were possibly going to cancel it because I couldn't stand. I had food poisoning the night before, and just before the soundcheck, I was able to stand. I thought if I can just stand, I'll be able to sing, and I was able to stand, and I got out there and did it.
They're a real trooper. And just on the personal front, you're going to be getting married, aren't you?
I am, yes. Yeah.
So that's all very good. And your fiancé is a famous motorcyclist.
Yeah.
But
he
also a
is.
pianist.
Yeah, he's amazing. James Toseland is just incredible. I'm very excited about it all.
So will we see a musical collaboration, do you think?
Probably not, because he's talented in his own right and he'll be able to do it himself.
Maybe just on the wedding night.
No.
Not even on the wedding night. Oh.
I know you're going to play for us in just a moment.
Yeah.
So you can get ready and we'll
Okay.
fill in a moment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Katie, thank you so much. The album is out today and Katie's going to get ready to perform right now. Join us tomorrow from 6 o'clock. We are going to be talking to the Blur bass player, Alex James, about his new life running a farm. And, of course, what does he do?
Make cheese.
Makes cheese.
Cheese expert. And Dame Daphne Sheldrick will be here talking about her memoir, An African Love Story, which tells of her life on Kenya's largest national park, looking after orphaned wild animals.
We're also going to be meeting actors Oliver Tobias and Hannah Taylor-Gordon, who are starring in a new film of Macbeth. It's for children. Now, as promised, we leave you with Katie Melua performing her new single, Better Than a Dream, released March the 12th.
I used to dream myself to somewhere else each night. I dreamed in color, but I lived in black and white. Until I chanced upon this road that led to you, I could not see how anything could be better than a dream, stranger than my wild imagination. If this is a real sensation, it's better than a dream.